Hello, welcome back. Today we're on episode 18. It's crazy of things that DIORPIUM wants you to hear. A slight episode today, just trying to stay active on it with my days off. So I only got a handful of stuff I want to talk about. Nothing crazy. But we're gonna start off with some big news. Uh, Joshua Van says he has a fight signed, and it's basically been confirmed to be Tyra because of what's his name? Manel Cop said. He tweeted something out. Let me find it real quick and I'll read it off to y'all. Here, I'll put it on the screen right now. Bah. Fake news. I'm not fighting my son, Joshua Van. My team and I have been pushing for this fight since my last one. However, according to the UFC, they had already promised the title shot to Tyra after he defeated Brandon Royval. Even knowing that, we kept pushing to make this fight happen on March 7th. UFC told us there was a strong possibility I was already cutting weight, and by Monday, I was down to 144 pounds. In the end, the UFC decided not to move forward with the fight because of the short time or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Basically confirming that Tyra and Joshua Van are, next. Or somehow they cleared Pantoja and he gets the, immediate rematch. But I could definitely see that being the co-main for 327. Let's be real. Tyra versus Van. How does that go? Subtle prediction. Nothing crazy. I mean, it's either Van pieces him up basically for 5 rounds and wins the decision. Because I don't think anyone's getting finished unless it's Van getting subbed by Tyra. But also, I could see Tyra's grappling just making the difference here and him smudging Van for 5 rounds and, spoiling the show basically. Maybe finding that sub, like I said, maybe third or fourth round, maybe fifth round. Honestly, not. It either is like the third or fourth round or it's going to a decision. Let's be real here because, yes, they're flyweights. They got good gas tank and they're small, you know what I'm saying? But, it's 5 round fights or 5 round fight, especially at a pace that those two are going to set. Yo, they're going to be digging deep, bro. But I think I'm going to go Tyra by sub in the third or fourth round. That's my initial prediction. Obviously some time has yet to come and pass by until that fight happens. So, maybe I'm swayed by something. But, who really knows? I don't. Yeah. But the next thing, we'll just do a slight update on Walter Walker and Wing C. They both shined in karate combat. Obviously, Walter Walker, how else did we expect that fight to go? He rear naked choked. Forgot his name. Sorry, no disrespect, but yeah, he rear naked choked him. If it would have went any other way, that would have been absurd and not a good look for Walter Walker. He was really just out there having fun. Like he literally went for a heel hook, knowing damn well he didn't even his opponent didn't even have like legs, bruh. So or like a waist. So that was pretty funny. And the Wing C literally destroyed his opponent basically like a minute. He didn't like look like the best of the best, but also what I'm saying, I think recently this might have been his pro debut or he's already had it or whatever. But obviously he's young, still got some work to do. It's hard to have the best technique in the world when you're focusing on being a character too, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I'm not hating. I didn't watch it live. I saw the clip on Instagram. Obviously, who's watching that live? We're all seeing the clip. But obviously, I fuck with Wing C. It's chill vibes. How can you hate on that? It's just someone trying to be entertaining and doing it to the best of their ability. I really support that. So, yeah, he literally just basically flailed around the octagon, popped a bunch of knees to the body. Basically like had like his arm wrapped up around dude's waist and kind of like spun to the ground and then got some like ground and pound dude covered up and they called it. Honestly, yeah, I mean he was like a -3 something favor if I'm not mistaken. So they literally were just setting them up to shine. So it's not that crazy, but it is what it is. I was very entertained, and that's the type of shit you probably saw in the memes, bruh. But that's the type of shit we gotta watch when there's no UFC, bruh. That shit's so sad. Next thing, we got some real spiel from the GOAT, Jeff Craig, bruh. And if you're not familiar with Jeff Craig, go watch his dirty boxing fight. Bro got the craziest chin I've ever seen. That's all I gotta say. What did he say here? I'll put it on the screen right here. Boom. If you gotta tap into a different persona to go into competition, I 100% know you can break easier than the person who can be themselves and still perform. True. Does anyone disagree with that? Like, when I'm in a cage or whatever, I'm not like tapping into DIORPIUM. That's just like my I guess like my stage name or whatever you want to call it. Not stage name. That sounds crazy like I'm a dancer, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's my handle, bro. It's just my shit. Like we're pretty Gen Z with it. You know, if you're not going by your Instagram name to promote yourself, what are you really doing? Um, but yeah, also not everyone has like you know, a secret Instagram handle that isn't their real name or whatever. But you know, it just is what it is. But I think what he's trying to say here is if you, like basically if you gotta like have that minute with yourself where you have to like tap into yourself and dig deep and bring out that meh, that rager to you know get ready to fight and scrap down. I'm kicking you in your leg hard once. And all right, this is what I'm gonna do to you. I'm gonna do to you. I'm gonna hit you with this hard as fuck once. Jab, get you. Boom, inside leg kick. Jab. Move around, you know what I'm saying? Jab, inside leg kick. You still haven't checked one yet. You're like, one more. Jab. Inside leg kick. Right knee to your face because you're off balance and your face is somewhere where my knee can reach because, you know, you're off balance or whatever. That's exactly what I'm doing to a guy like you. Um, you know, like I said, I don't think I have to personally tap into any like different persona or whatever, but you know, I just like to rely on my skills. You know, I'll be putting that work in, so I think I would like to believe that, you know, they'll showcase for themselves. And I believe they do every time I fight. Obviously, you know, still amateur or whatever, so got hella work and experience to gain, but I feel like I'll just continue to prove that with all the fights that I have. But yeah, shout out Jeff Craig, bro. Don't be that guy. Don't try to tap into a different persona before you get into the ring, man. You're just hiding from the truth that you might not be built for it for real. And you know, maybe you are, but you're still tapping into that persona. Just, I think it's best to be yourself in that moment and accept whatever the universe is throwing at you, whether it's a win or a loss. Just take whatever you can from it and move forward. Take it head on, man. Why do you gotta be something else? All right. Anything else? Yes. Next one, number 4. Crazy fight announcement: Jose Delgado versus Andre Fili. Jose Delgado is going to take this home. He's going to finish Andre Fili. And if, you know, obviously I don't see this going to a decision, me personally. Wouldn't be surprised if it did. Andre Fili, low-key, is kind of a vet, got the experience to, you know, take it to the decision with someone like Jose Delgado. But I think Jose Delgado is too explosive. His boxing, his striking is too sharp, too explosive for someone like Andre Fili to, like, take that beat down and not start wincing in the second or third round, basically. So I could see Jose Delgado getting a TKO here or somehow finding some sort of like sub, whether it's like just Andre Fili ends up in like a ninja choke or like a Darce Anaconda or something. Just, I don't know. I haven't really had to see Delgado really grapple, but he gives me the vibes that he's with the shits with it. So I really don't feel like I have to like worry about him on the ground. I feel like he can definitely handle himself, especially with someone like Andre Fili, who's not like the craziest grappler of all time. You know, just MMA grappler, probably can pop a submission off his back if need be, but probably won't get it. You know what I mean? So I think this is obviously like another like throw up fight for Jose Delgado, new star versus Andre Fili, who's been in the UFC for a while, kind of on the outskirts of his career. Good matchmaking. This is good. This has me excited. Shout out Jose Delgado. You're my bedtime banner. Obviously, if y'all seen that video, he's who I want to be champion featherweight. But you know, probably give him a couple more years to see where he goes or whatever. But we'll go on to the next one. This one I've actually been looking forward to talk about. This one's actually pretty cool. I'll put the YouTube comment on the screen right now. Boom. A YouTube comment about Josiah Harrell. I want to talk about this because this is just cool, just seeing like different like shits or different informations about fighters or whatever to give me some sort of more of a heads up into their matchup that they have coming forward. But like I said, the comments on the screen, I'm gonna read it for y'all. What a nice comment from a young man called Andrew-WH1VJ. Commented on my video when I was talking about the UFC Fight Night Houston Strickland versus Hernandez predictions. But basically it says, nice to see, oh my God. Nice to see someone putting some respect on Josiah's name. Everyone besides you that I've seen thinks that this is an easy layup win for Jacoby, which I guarantee you is not the case. I train at the same gym as Josiah. He's legit and a cool-ass dude. He actually was first signed to the UFC in 2023 where he was stepping in again for another short notice fight against JDM, Jack Della Maddalena, which is crazy. Out of all people. In his pre-fight physical, they discovered he had a rare brain disease. The fight, of course, had to be canceled, and Josiah had to go brain surgery and was released by the UFC. I was not familiar with this. This is crazy. He did not let that stop him, and he's been grinding ever since. He recovered to get back to the UFC. His mentality is on another level. Anyone who is overlooking him is in for a big shock. Josiah is relatively a slow starter in fights, but if Jacoby gets to that second or third round and starts gassing out like we saw in his last fight against Nico Price, which I'm not comparing Nico Price to Josiah Harrell, let's be real here. And I see Josiah wanting it more and out-dogging Jacoby for a late stoppage or a decision. And then I commented back, I think it's going to be in the screenshot or whatever. This is crazy, bro. I didn't know that, but low-key, I love that shit. The adversity and the fact he has to overcome and show the world who he is has me a fan already. I'm excited for this one, for real, for real. I love knowing this type of shit about fighters, bro, because, dude, the universe has put Josiah in this position. You know, maybe it will be another hard, reality, something to expect. Maybe he's not UFC level. He gets exposed. But I just don't feel that. Getting some sort of like brain, what does it say? Brain disease. I don't even know what it is. I should have done more research. There's probably some article or some post about it. But like, I'm not trying to blow him up on all that. You have some sort of brain disease, and you were stepping on short notice for a champ at JDM who wasn't a champ then, obviously, but who, soon to be champ a couple years later, which nobody knew, which is even crazy. But to have that brain disease, get cut by the UFC because you can't cut with that, get surgery on your brain, chill, recover, come back into training, get back to UFC level where you were, which that probably wouldn't take much work considering he had already been training a bunch before that. He's already getting like an opportunity to step in on short notice of the UFC. So he's obviously with the shits. But it's just like, dude, like I said, the universe is setting him up to shine. And I will have the biggest smile and grin on my face when Josiah wins that fight by decision or finish, whatever. I'm with this guy. I'm with Andrew. This shit is crazy, bro. And like I feel like nobody's talking about this. I mean, I didn't know about it until this dude commented on my video with like 70 views. So that's crazy that I'm even getting this information, or that he actually commented, thank you, for real. Because this makes me look into this fight and have a whole nother, like, not like a different outlook, because I already do have Josiah kind of winning. Like I said, I'm viewing this fight as if it's Malcolm Wellmaker versus Ethan Ewing. And like I said, Josiah Harrell is Ethan Ewing and Malcolm Wellmaker is Jacoby Smith. Jacoby Smith is good, bro. But you can't almost say Nico Price in the third round and expect to dog walk or clean up Josiah Harrell in the first round. Or clean him up at all, I think. I'm not saying, dude, Jacoby Smith is crazy, bro. But I think both of them are on the same level where it's going to go to a decision and Josiah Harrell is going to win. But like Andrew said, he wouldn't be surprised if he gets to finish later in the fight. But I guess the only thing that worries me about this is if Jacoby comes off crazy in the first round, that's like his best chance at finishing Josiah is, if what Andrew's saying is right, is Josiah Harrell starts off as a slow starter, then we'll see. But this fight actually has me crazy hyped. I think Houston's in for a treat. Do not sleep on this fight. Please, please, please stay tapped in. And I'm pretty sure Josiah is probably a decent underdog. So if you want to make some good money, Josiah, maybe Dan Ige, and Strickland. They're all underdogs. Place your bets now. You know what I'm saying? I don't bet personally, but I could see those ones sliding through. Maybe not Ige as much, but if you want to do like a two-leg parlay, definitely Strickland and Josiah Harrell. Just saying. So yeah, let's fucking go, man. I love both of those guys. It's gonna be a good scrap. Next fight. Not next fight, sorry. It's in a prediction video. Next thing. Cain Velasquez is free. I'm not too, familiar with everything, detail for detail. I can't go detail for detail and inform you. Everyone probably knows about what happened. I'm pretty sure his, kid or whatever, I'm saying, was assaulted by somebody on some weird shit, bruh. Not even gonna repeat that again, but, I'm pretty sure Cain went and, tried to kill dude basically and got arrested for it. But obviously they let him out early. He's good. Everyone knows that Cain's obviously in the right here. The judicial system is just a little skewed. But it is what it is. Cain is home, bro. I saw the video of them welcoming home. There was a mariachi band. The whole family was waiting for him. It was a beautiful moment for real. So Cain has been freed. It's no more free Cain. Cain has been freed. He is now at home with his family, chilling. I remember like a couple months back, Mike Perry was talking about giving Cain Velasquez an opportunity to fight in dirty boxing. You know what I'm saying? Just to give him some money back 'cause he's been in jail. Give him opportunity to fight and work, and make a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Even though they definitely should just sign him to Paramount or whatever, or make him a desk guy. I think he'd be better than some of the people there. You know what I'm saying? But let's not do that. Let's not use Kane's situation for DBX promo. That just doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? But yes. Sorry, fix my collar. Yeah, free. Not free Kane. Kane is free. Some good news. And like I said, this video is gonna be a little short. The last thing I want to talk about today. The armadillo is back. Anthony Smith is back. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Anthony Smith is back in Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA, bro. How do you have that retirement video from the UFC and then sign to Game Bred MMA to probably get destroyed? I didn't do too much research on dude that he's fighting or whatever, but let's go back to Tapology real quick. Chase Sherman is the dude he's fighting. We're on the Tapology. He's on his last 3 fights. He's 2-1. He got standing guillotine choked in Game Bred in round 2. He won by decision in a boxing match. He got KO'd by punches in 15 seconds in round 1 in Karate Combat. And then he lost to Levi DaCosta in Dirty Boxing. Levi DaCosta. He's not the worst guy in the world, but he's not the best heavyweight on the roster for sure. So I would not be surprised if Anthony Smith somehow does get the finish here. But let's go to. I just want to check out Anthony Smith's Tapology real quick. He's so funny, bro. Yeah, lost. Somehow guillotined Vitor Petrino. That was definitely a fluke. Vitor just ended up in that. Lost to Khalil. Double over Ryan Spann. Lost. Win. Lost. Whatever. Anyway, Anthony Smith versus Chase Sherman. Who do we got? We got Anthony Smith. Probably decision. Or he genuinely just gets outgraded and finished. I'm not too familiar with Chase Sherman at all, so we'll see when that comes. Yeah, that's just funny. I can't believe he's signed up for Bare Knuckle MMA. Dude, this is big for Jorge Masvidal. This is going to have a lot of people tapped in, and I hope to see him bloodied up like the Zhang Ming Yang fight, just in a ball. Elbows rained down, give him a reminder to stay retired and stay on that desk. Or, just stick to the on paper. You know what I mean? Or I see him in this ad all the time for this like sweatshirt, bro. Like, or just some sort of like cloth or shirt or whatever, bro. But anyway, I really got nothing else to say. That's all I really got for today's episode. Let's all pray for Anthony Smith. You know what I'm saying? Let's everyone text Kane, tell him welcome home. Yeah, that's really it. Also, final words, JOSIAH HARREL, bro. You better beat Jacoby Smith, bro, for the timeline, bro. For the storyline. You better do that shit. All right. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, yada, 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 yada. Thank you.